Hey boys, welcome back to the channel where we're going to be having a look at round 24 of the season. It's getting to the sad part of the footy season. I mean, the final's always fun, don't get me wrong, but we're approaching the end, man. Like it's gonna be over before we know it, and then another season done and dusted. But a bit of a hopefully an exciting finish to the Supercoach season. Hopefully. I mean, personally, we still got the 3 trades. We got 200k in the bank to work with. We got a very strong team back on deck this week. We'll go through first the notable team list changes because there's obviously a few important ones to go through. So, starting on the front row, Liam Henry has got a starting second row spot. Honestly, I'm probably gonna play him. Like, I'm happy. Karen Finu Henry. I think Henry, I love playing Henry. Honestly, Finu against the Rabbitohs, I like quite a bit. The Doggies are playing the Dolphins. I mean, that's not bad either. They're all pretty good. Oh, man. That's annoying. They're all really good matchups, honestly, because Storm isn't like great, but Liam Henry starting in the back row, my man is just such an absolute monster. And I'll have to check. I don't know. Is he going to be on the right? If he's on the right hand side outside of Cleary, I actually don't know. I mean, Luai loves hitting the back rolls as well. I think both sides would be good. I mean, Luai fucking loves hitting the back rower rather than going out the back. So honestly, either or. I think Henry is a big play. I think I don't know. I'm happy not to play. Maybe Finu. Karen with the injury concerns, I don't know. We'll have a look at it, but that's obviously a good one for us. Jane Brayley's still continuing to get the starting spot, which is good. The back row, so Angus Crichton obviously back. Eli Katoa has been named, which is it's good. I mean, again, I'm sort of like, if he wasn't named, it would have been fine because I've got the cover. So now I'm probably going to have to make another tough decision, like who to sit start, but that's all right. Bo Fermor Fermor is in the extended squad. I think he's 18th man, so there's every chance Fermor comes back in. The Titans are playing Dragons, which is a pretty good matchup. Honestly, I think with the team that I'll have, even if Fermor does make a late start, I don't think I'm going to play Fermor. I think, we won't need him this week, honestly. It's going to be a tough sit start. We'll probably, this will be the preview. I'll do like a pre-lockout discussion where I'll probably go through the sit starts a little bit closer. But yeah, Fermor at the moment not playing, but good news. He's obviously, it doesn't seem like he's going to be gone for like the foreseeable future. More so, yeah, like, I don't know, maybe another week and he'll be back, which is handy. It's very handy in case there's some more carnage. The halves, so obviously Cleary, Brown, Galvin, Dane Laurie. So, big one here. Dane Laurie is still the fullback. Dylan Edwards is on the extended bench. So, it's very nice. It's honestly fantastic that Penrith are playing the first game of the round, so I'll know straight away. Honestly, I don't know. Anything could happen here. Like, do they give Edwards more time off? Like, it makes sense, but at the same time, they're taking on Melbourne, who are probably their biggest rivals this year for the comp. So, does Cleary want to put his best team out there and try to get a little moral win over the Storm early and try to get the minor premiership? Penrith, they are going to probably scatter their restings throughout the season or the back end. So, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I could definitely see Laurie going to 14. I could even see him going to the wing and Taruva get dropped. It could happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. They give Edwards just another week. I would love it if they gave him 2 weeks because, the Storm matchup. I mean, if Laurie is the fullback, I'm definitely going to play him. I mean, against the Storm, they're not the defensive powerhouse they used to be, especially in Supercoach terms. So I'm pretty I'm still pretty happy playing Dane Laurie against the Storm, but next week against the, oh my god, look at the, oh my goodness, Raiders, South Gold Coast, oh brother, if Laurie somehow stayed in the team, he'd be the absolute super pod of all time, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping hopefully they drop Taruva. I don't see it happening, but you never know. And also, if there's restings, then Dane Laurie could easily come back in if they rest like a To'o or, any other players. They could rest Luai. Laurie could slot into 5'8". Like, there's honestly, I think holding Laurie, it's going to be annoying if he drops back to 14 this week, but I still think I still think riding him for a week, having an AE problem if he does get on the field, I just probably won't loop. That's fine. But I think holding Laurie is actually the play, because I think there's every chance over the next couple of weeks he does get a starting spot somewhere in that team, whether be 5'8", whether be fullback, whether be on the wing. Could definitely see it happening. So I think holding Laurie is the play. Don't get me wrong, there is a temptation, if he was 14, to trade him to like a Sammy Walker, who I think is like arguably probably the pick of like potential pod high scoring upside halves to target, because the Roosters run is really good and Walker can go big. That is tempting, but I think holding Laurie, and honestly, you could fucking trade Dylan Brown. Like, I don't hate the idea of trading Brown to Sam Walker, if there's no other trades I want to make, because again, just to reiterate, I think using one more trade for a high upside player in this week, maybe next week, and then saving 2 trades for the last round probably, or the second last round, depending if there's a lot of injuries or restings in one of the last 2 rounds, I think is the go. But yeah, good. I mean, at the moment, it's just a wait and see on Laurie / Edwards. The centre wing, so Holmes has officially announced the signing to the Dragons, which I mean, Holmes is always going to be solid. I've got no issue with Holmes. I think, I don't know, I think he'll want to go out playing some very good footy. I know there's always a talk that once they sign a contract that their form dips. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm sure Holmes wants to finish on a high with the Cows, and I mean, it's against the Raiders at Queensland Country Bank Stadium this week, so it's a pretty good matchup for him. Kiraz, Iro, Garrick, Dom Young has been named, so that it's good and bad. Obviously, it's more good. Like, I think Young is like, he's going to be such a potential high up scoring player, but if he was gone for a couple of weeks, it would have been so easy just to trade him off to a Lomax or even a To'o. There's definitely some good players I would target, but Dom Young potentially scores more than all of them, so it's good he's back. Greg Marju, McLean. McLean's still, in the centres. I guess there's every chance that Laurie could, maybe McLean drops out, obviously a rookie. They could slot Dane Laurie into the centres, for maybe Taruva goes. You never know. I think there's definitely options for Laurie. And then Tommy and James Tedesco, obviously returning from the bye. So, yeah, there's some big decisions to make in terms of sit starts and also captains. Oh, baby, because you got these 2 boys, Tommy, Tedesco. Like I said in the review, you've got the Penrith, Manly, Roosters all playing back to back to back, and they're the matchups to target for sure. So it's going to be a very interesting split with the captaincy this week, I think. But looking forward, what are we going to look at? I mean, I guess I could look at sit starts. It's a pretty tricky one. Captain, vice captains. I think we'll say vice captains for the pre-lockouts. So the trade. Okay, so the trades, especially with the depth I've got in the team, right? The trades going forward, they have to be like targeting plays with big upsides, For the last couple of rounds, if you can get someone like a Kohler of last year. And this is the thing interesting with To'o, right? Like, I wasn't that keen on To'o a few weeks ago, not because he's not an absolute gun, but just because of the games he was potentially going to miss. But it seems like Penrith the talk is that they're more going to rest their players sporadically. So To'o and Luai might get a rest 1 week, and then a couple of the forwards might get a rest. Like, I don't think it's going to happen all in the last round of the season. I mean, you could be wrong. Maybe they do. But if To'o gets rested like next week per se, like round 25, if To'o gets rested, that would be fucking beautiful, because round 26 and 27, To'o would obviously be playing those 2 games. He would be the absolute, in my opinion, the absolute slam dunk trade in 100% with the matchups, and also just because he's an absolute weapon. If To'o doesn't get rested next week, I mean, I wouldn't really want to pick him up, because surely he's probably going to get rested in one of those games, which is a bit of a pain. You bring him in, it's still like you still get 2 games. If you brought him in next week, he'll miss 1, but just, I don't know, the way it works, it just doesn't seem as appealing. Zach Lomax, obviously another guy that can go big for the run home. The Dragons taking on the Titans this week. Very tempting. Very, very tempting. And then, like I said, Semi Walker is also, like, I'm honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like actually really considering just going straight to Walker. I would love Lomax, but who do I trade out? Like, who would I trade out for Lomax? I can't afford McLean. I did see a comment to like downgrade Payne Haas and trade McLean up. I'm not going to do that. I need to save 2 trades. I'm not going to waste a trade like trading Payne Haas out to get money. I can't afford that. Like any other centre wings I can afford. Like Greg Marju is tempting, but Marju is tempting to trade out to Lomax. I'm not going to lie, but they've got a good run. Like, they got South, Gold Coast, Dolphins. I don't think you can trade Marju. Like, I'm very happy not playing Marju this week against the Sharkies. He could score 2 tries and go big, but I'm happy not to play him, and then probably play him for the last 3 weeks. I think he could go big, because it's not all just going to keep going down Fletcher Sharp's wing. It's going to eventually swing and hit our boy Greg. So I don't really want to trade Marju. Lomax would be great, but honestly, trading Dylan Brown, they've got a tough run. Like, the Roosters this week, not easy. Then it's the Bronx. You know what? You know what? Oh, no. I forgot about that. The fucking... Yeah, the Eels actually have a pretty good little 3-run burst. I mean, originally you would have thought Roosters, Broncos, really bad matchups, but Broncos are now missing a bunch of players. I think Dylan Brown could carve up the Bronx. Dragons, you know, they're up and down, but it's a CommBank. And then the West Tigers to finish the game. You have to keep Brown. I think you have to keep Brown for that last game. I don't think Brown's a guy to go like 150. I don't think he's ever gone like huge, but if there's a game in a season he could, it's the final game against the Tigers at CommBank. I think it doesn't get much more appealing than that. So, you know what? I don't think we trade Brown. Yeah, okay, so maybe the Semi Walker we just don't do. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Walker, because again, there's some juicy matchups. I mean, even, you know, the Parramatta Eels this week. I mean, the Eels have a good team still. So I don't know. It's just I guess like who turns up. If the Eels actually turn up for this game, but then they got Gold Coast, Canberra, South. The South game should be tough. Like, it should. Like, I'd expect Mitchell to be back. It should be a tough game. So I'm not expecting massive scores, but you never know. I don't know. It'll be a fiery game in that last game. But obviously Gold Coast Canberra is good, but yeah, I think we probably forego Semi Walker, I think. Then if we're not doing that, I think definitely centre wing is the target pod area. I'm happy with like I said, I'm happy to keep Dane Laurie. There's no 5'8", like, barring like a Max Plath. I think I saw a comment to ask if I should get Plath in. Someone asked. I personally think no at this point. I think you've missed the boat. Like, he's fucking impressive. Like, I love Plath, but he's not going to keep getting attacking stats at dummy half. Like, he's like, originally at dummy half he was a bit underwhelming, but he's had some good attacking weeks. He's gonna drop back. I think he will drop back. I think it's sort of a Jaden Campbell situation, not quite high as upside, but the Dolphins have a tough run home. I definitely wouldn't be bringing Plath now. If you own him, fuck, he's been unbelievable. He's going to be very safe and solid for the rest of the season, but yeah, I wouldn't be going Plath at this point. And any other 5'8s, not really. I mean, Burden's been okay. Munster, no. I'm happy to ride the Laurie train. Obviously, if Laurie is out for a bit, that could be the case. We trade Laurie to Walker and swing Brown back to 5'8". But again, I like the idea of keeping Laurie because I do see him getting into the starting team in a potentially 1 or 2 weeks in the run home. But I could be wrong. Maybe Laurie just becomes a nothing at the end there. But if he does, he does. We can trade him out with a couple of weeks ago if that happens, so it's fine. Second row, I mean, honestly, well, let's go through. Dummy half, no. Fucking whatever. Robson, he's averaging 60 still. He's going like 60, 70, then down to 40 odds. It's like every dummy half. It's fine. I'm hoping he can just, average pretty well for the back end of the season and do a nice job for us. Front row, honestly, I'm fine. I'm not bringing in another front row at this point. It is what it is. I've bitten the bullet there. I didn't get into happening last week. I didn't get in Fennell Blake a couple of weeks ago. With the upside of those two guys, they keep fucking getting attacking stats, even like a Barnett. It probably has come back to bite me, but that's I think I still like the idea of what I had with attacking more upside positions. And I'm happy with the 3 front rows I got. So it is what it is. Second row, we could still trade like a Fermor. Are there any second rowers? What second rowers? Let's go back to the draw. Well, actually, let's just have a look at the second row and their matchups, because you obviously want to target a second rower that has some great matchups to come. Barnett, top scoring back rower, unbelievable, dude. Fafita Qatar, Kamalatangi. So Kamalatangi has gone back to the back row. I mean, I said it was gonna happen. Well, actually, I said he should go to prop, but I think, the reports Kamalatangi didn't want to play through the middle. I think with Cameron Murray coming back in, I think maybe Kalamatangi was starting to get a bit of the shits. I think his form started to dip, and maybe there was a bit of thought there that he was like, well, our boy Murray is back, like one of the best locks in the game. Why am I still playing in the middle and Murray on the edge? So I think they've made the switch. I think Kalamatangi on the edge can still be pretty good. He's obviously going to have, like, any back rower, like if he could score a couple of tries, go big. He's not probably going to be as consistently high playing through the middle, but he's definitely got the upside playing on the edge. So I don't hate it if you're an owner. I wouldn't be bringing him in, but it's not bad. Carrigan on a bye, rock solid, but not quite the upside you're looking for. Who else have we even got? Jesus Christ, Plath. He's going to be so expensive next year too. That's the worst part, because Plath is going to be like a dummy half next year. He'll probably be a dual Turef hooker, I'm guessing, next year. He's definitely not going to be he's not going to be a dual 5'8", but he's going to be so expensive. But he'll be a very rock solid option, I think, because you wouldn't expect he'll play big minutes at lock, I think, next year going forward. Oh yeah, Gilbert coming back and some of the other boys. I still think Plath has to be the lock. Have we got any other high upside back rowers to target? It's not looking like it. I think the center wing is the place, honestly. I mean, Connor Watson, I don't hate Connor Watson. You might be like, get him at hooker, but I don't think it matters, hooker or 2RF. You know what? Fuck, you could. maybe you do just get rid of fucking Robson and get in Connor Watson. That's got me thinking. Is it worth getting Watson over like a Lomax? I don't think so, though. Again, they've got a good draw home. He's going to play big minutes at lock / dummy half. He's got the upside. Not quite the upside. Yeah, not really the upside if we look at it. He had obviously a 125, but it's the only time he really got close to even 100, if we're being honest. He got 90 against the Tigers, 80 against the Dolphins, 80 against Dragons, but not really too many close to like a ton. So, yeah, I'd still rather a Lomax. I don't think it's worth doing a Robson to a Connor Watson. Anyone else of note? Jackie Williams. I still cannot believe Jack Williams hasn't turned into a Supercoach gun. I can't believe a team hasn't like tried to fucking snag Williams. Like the Sharkies have too many like middles. I think Williams could be an absolute gun in some struggling sides. I think he's such an underrated player. Not just because he scored 93. I think he's a fucking gun, but I don't know. He's a Shark loyal, but it's just not getting the minutes. Surely a fucking club, Jesus Christ, some club could do with him. Some club could do wonders with Jack Williams, but it is what it is. Yeah, honestly, I'm not really feeling any of the back rows. I mean, the Cameron Murray. So Murray's gone back to the middle now. Oh. So yeah, Murray back to the middle. You'd expect big minutes going forward at the back end. I mean, he's got some attacking upside against Tigers, Newcastle, but then finishes off Penrith, Roosters. He's had a great... If this is earlier in the season, absolutely. But I think back end of the season, if you got a couple of trades left, or like a couple of extra trades, I think bringing in a Murray is great. Honestly, I'm hoping he stays pretty low so we can pick him up cheap next year. Probably wishful thinking. He's going to get up to like 700k by the end of the season, probably. Yeah, honestly, that's probably it. So I think the target area is the centre wing and potentially someone like a Semi Walker or a pod half or someone like that. But yeah, centre wing is the place, I think. So, yeah, Zachary Lomax. I just love watching Lomax. And he's a guy that I want to bring in because he's been, I love watching him. I've always been a fan of Lomax, even when people critical. And it's been just frustrating this year because he's scoring so damn well, but I enjoy watching him. So bringing him in would be a nice little boost, and he's just always there. He's an attacking threat. He's got the goal kicking. It can be a little shoddy sometimes, but he's actually been pretty good with the boot this year. It's a good run home. It's good. It's good enough. Gold Coast is obviously great. Sharkies is fine. Parramatta, Canberra. It's not a slam dunk draw, but it's definitely good. It's definitely good. The big question though, I think it's Lomax versus To'o for me. Not keen on Azarko. Jesse Ramian, not real. I've already got Kaolira. I don't want both centres for the Sharkies. I forgot about Joey Manu. I did forget about the Joey Manu. Oh, okay. You gotta throw in a Joey Manu. I did forget about him because he got the sin bin. Then he had a bye. You gotta put him in there. I like Manu because the break even doesn't matter. He's already so cheap. Again, the Roosters have a great draw. They play the Titans coming up. Para. What's better, Lomax or Manu's? I don't know. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. I think Manu... I can just see Manu really fucking going off. God, look at the discrepancy, dude. The high scores... 108.97. Surprisingly, he hasn't hit a ton against the Titans. 130.75. And then the low is 20.17, 23.26. He's not really that up and down, but it's just the way it worked in this case. But oh man, that is tough. Manu, Lomax, like I think it's if you're going early, it's Lomax or Manu straight away, or you wait a week and hope that someone like a Toto gets rested next week, and then if Toto is playing the last two games, I still think I'd really like Toto for the last two games, but because that's the thing, I'm not trading. I guess I'd probably no. Well, you know what? I think I can afford McLean to Manu. That is one benefit. I think I can just afford it. Any other centre wingers? I mean, Herbie Farnworth has been... He had a big one, but I still put those three above him on the pecking order. I mean, Manu's still poddish, 12%. I mean, Herbie's pretty pod. Manu, 12%. Toto, 11%. And even Lomax, 17%. So he's high-ish. But, I mean, Toto and Manu still pretty poddish. Yeah, I mean, there's other guys you could target, but I think those three are the go. So if we look, I think I can afford McLean, which, because if I look, who are people going? Yeah, Lomax, Ponga. I don't like the Ponga trade in this week. I don't know why people are going Ponga. I mean, I guess the money situation, like if you strap for cash, he is quite a bit cheaper. Yeah, he's a lot cheaper. He's like 300k cheaper than Tommy and like 250 or 200 less than Tedesco. Okay, so the money factor, I guess, but I don't love Ponga now. If you didn't get him last week early, I don't love the Ponga play. Joe Manu, Fletcher Myers. I guess if you need money, sure. And then Sammy Walker, I do like as well. Payne Haas, Marju, Fermor, Clean, Eli Katoa. I don't know why would people trade out Eli Katoa? That's pretty strange in my opinion, but fair enough. So yeah, I think I can just afford McLean. Can I just afford it? It's gonna be so close. I can't remember what he was. He was like 5. Oh my god, get out of here. What are you doing? He was like 574 something, I think. Oh, that can $500 to spare. That is hilarious. I mean, it's like perfect to bring him in, right? Like that, it couldn't be any more perfect. And this solves the issue. It does bring another issue into play. That I'm gonna have another gun. Like an absolute gun, and I'm going to have to sit another potential absolute gun. That does bring in one issue. The sit start's going to be even more annoying. But the depth is like out of control. I'll be praying for some carnage. Because I like... But even holding McLean, I don't know. This is a tough decision. I love the idea. Yeah, it's only really the last game that I'd probably even consider playing McLean. I mean, maybe against the Bunnies if I had a couple of players out. But against the Gold Coast, if they rest a bunch of players, McLean might not be that good anyway. Marju, I still like I like holding Marju. I'm definitely, I'm not going to play him this week, so there's one easy sit that I don't have to worry about. But then it's, South Gold Coast Dolphins. I mean, that's fucking good. That's very good. But okay, let's just quickly look at sit starts. So, obviously, Tedesco. Dom Young. I mean, all the centre wingers are going to play. Yeah, definitely Holmes, definitely Kiraz, Garrick, absolutely. Who are Manly playing? Yeah, Warriors. And then Sharks are playing the Knights. Love Kaoliro. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. You know, I mean, okay. So, Laurie, I do like Laurie over Galvin if Laurie is starting. Galvin against the Bunnies, I still like Galvin, but Brown... No, I don't like Brown. I'm happy not to play Brown. We'll definitely play Crichton. Fafita, Olakwatu, Nikora, absolutely. Are we not playing Eli Katoa? Yeah, probably not. And then it's out of like, we're happy not to start one of our front rowers. So we're sitting one of our decent front rowers, Katoa, Brown, Marju, McLean. It's not that bad. But then if we bring in Manu/Lomax, we probably sit Galvin, or if Edwards comes in late, then we just play Galvin and we sit Laurie. So that actually works out not too bad. So you know what? It's not as terrible as I thought it might be for just starts. I mean, you know, Marju could go ton, McLean could go huge. Like, it can happen, but like I mean, that's Supercoach. You obviously can't predict what's going to happen. You just got to play it. You know how your gut's telling you. So I think I'm gonna hold it for now. Manu/Lomax is really tempting. I think maybe we just forego To'o. You know what? I mean, we'll have 2 trades left after this. If To'o does get a rest next week, we could still bring To'o in for potentially the second last game of the season. We can still do it. We'd still have 2 trades left. We'll just make up our decision. Yeah, we'll make our decision. I guess we could play Katoa over Galvin as well. Probably that's the play. Katoa, like, Penrith, obviously very tough, but he is running at, it'll be Henry or Gaia. You know, both pretty good targets. It's definitely not Sorensen and Martin. So yeah, I don't hate the Katoa play actually. Over Galvin anyway. Yeah, it's just a matter of, do we trade? And like, I gotta be honest, like, I don't know. I feel like this whole year, like, holding the trade has actually worked out better. Like, every time I've gone and done the trade that I was like 50-50 on, it sort of bit me in the ass. But it's gonna turn, dude. It's gonna turn. And I mean, going McLean straight up to Manu, or just, yeah, do we want to trade? I don't know if I want to trade Marju to Lomax. I think you just go, I mean, Manu is so... I just feel like Manu... Like, it's last year at the Roosters, man. He's going to want to finish like a fucking train, man. He's going to want to finish strong. I mean, again, you could just hold the week. Obviously, the Lomax against the Titans is the really tempting one this week. That's the one that I'm like, yeah, I would love to bring in Lomax for the Titans matchup. 100%. But someone like a Manu, it's not like he's got a negative break-even and he's going to get really expensive. The break-even doesn't matter for the money purposes, but he's not going to get out of reach. That's the point. So you could hold, I don't know, are they going to put an absolute score on the Eels? They definitely could, but the Eels, they've been better for sure. So Manu doesn't necessarily go massive. It's more the last, I still think the last 3 games are the games, right? After the, Titans, Canberra, South. I mean, again, the South game could be tough, but yeah, I don't know. We'll talk more about it in the pre-lockout. We'll talk about captain, vice captains. I'll answer some questions, so put your questions in the comments. But yeah, that'll wrap up the little preview. We'll probably have another quick squiz at... I mean, I looked at the pod. There's just not that many pod trade-ins, I think. I think the centre wing is the one to target, and... yeah, I think even fullbacks, like, if you had the trades to, do roulette with, Ponga last week and then trade him out to, Tua Tedesco this week, then that I actually like that play. But now I think Tommy and Tedesco have a pretty good run home, so I just don't see any appeal to like really doing much crazy stuff there. I think their matchups are better than the Knights now, probably for the run. So I'm happy holding them. But yeah, we'll just see, any other carnage, restings, injuries for the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. We're getting to the back end of the season now. Post your comments. Make sure to like and comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one.